Welcome back to another episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, where we motivate you, we inspire you. And today we're going to educate you, but we're going to do a bonus today. We're going to transform you. We're going to bring some transformation into your life, into your business, because as we were in the green room waiting to come on live with y'all, like you don't realize there's a deeper level to life and business that sometimes you don't even see or you're aware of. And I'm honored to have this special episode with my dear friend Cathy Reilly. Good morning, Cathy. How you doing?
Good morning, my friend. Thank you for having me. I am truly living the dream. Every day is a gift. So I'm living the dream.
Well, I know the amazing rock star you are. Do me a favor, introduce yourself to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, please.
Oh, goodness, how much time we got? No. So, my name is Cathy Reilly. I'm the CEO and founder of Sharing the Shine and the Clarity Code. And I work with individuals, groups, organizations to help them improve communication so that they say what they really mean to get what they really want. Communication is so complicated, and we're human.
Mm.
So, when we communicate with humans, there's another degree of complication. So, how do we break through all of that complexity to gain clarity?
Well, people don't realize how important communication is. I know I didn't. I think sometimes I was just having this conversation, right? We listen to respond
Mhm.
instead of listen to understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we take a deep dive, get out your pen, get out your paper, and grab some notes because you're going to want to hear what Kathy's going to drop the wisdom with today. You're going to want to hear what we talk about, and you're going to want to go back and study your notes. Remember, what you write down, you retain over 50% of it. And I want you to not just listen, but I want you to listen to be transformed. So let me ask you this. Why do you, when someone says something, I think I was guilty of this, the younger Daniel, I just want to answer. But you never
Uh-huh.
really listen. You listen to react. You listen to respond. How does somebody A, why does that happen? And B, how do you overcome it?
Well, why does it happen? No, that's complicated. Because some of us are raised, it has to do with our background, what we were
I,
raised
I
and
I love
what's
the way you said
accepted.
that. It's complicated.
It's complicated. So
Yeah.
some people feel like, you think about the middle child syndrome. We just need to have our voice heard, right? Where when you're the oldest, let's break it down into families because we all have them. That's the oldest has to, nurture and run and take care of everybody else. And then the baby's clueless, right? They're just kind of, everybody else made the mistakes, so they're not sure what to do, right? They're kind of in love. So, why we respond the way we do has a lot to do with how we're raised, how we're taught, and the people around us. And when we are in the space of, so your question's twofold. We're in the space where we're like, oh, I need to be heard. I need to be heard. And we're thinking of all the things that we want to say when you're saying what you're saying, but we're not really listening. It's because, well, again, it's layered. Do we understand the question? Do we feel the need that it's like, oh, I've got something to say and I
Mhm.
feel worthy? I want to say something. I want to add to this conversation. Or do I want you to know that I'm with you? Like, let's lock arms because I appreciate you and yes. Or are we, the bully, the bull in the china store where,
Oh.
what I say is more important than what you say, and you need to listen and learn from me.
Okay, well, I love this. So, ladies and gentlemen, think about what Kathy's saying. So, we'll focus on two of these because you unloaded so much wisdom and insight. Let's talk about we react to be heard. We'll start off with that one. I say this, and I want your perception on this, is that when we do a big training on leadership with the executive team, I always like to sit back and just observe who's at the table in the conference room. Because usually the loudest person in the room, the loudest person in management or leadership or C suite is the most insecure. And they're always the first one to speak. more than likely they're always one of the first two to speak. I don't want to say always the first, but generally they're the ones that are boisterous, male or female, and they want to be heard because they're the most insecure leader. And what's your perception on that?
100%. A bully's a bully no matter what. Right? Whether you're dealing in the corporate realm or whether it's a personal level in your family, whatever, the people that often are the ones that they just have to be heard, whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent. They just need to be heard. Sort of have a bully mindset. Like but they're insecure. Show me a bully that isn't completely insecure, right? They need to
Yes.
feel better. They constantly need to feel better about themselves. I mean, I love teaching and training and working with bullies because at the end of the day, it's self-esteem and that can be fixed.
Mhm.
But it's self-esteem. They
That's
don't
but see,
really.
but that's great insight, right? So think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Write this down. Am I wanting to be heard? Am I the loudest person in the room? Write that down. Ask yourself that question. Am I wanting to be heard too often? Am I the loudest person in the room? Do I always have the need to speak first in a meeting? Maybe, maybe you want to be heard because of your self-esteem.
Mhm. You
That's
feel like
powerful
you have
right there.
something to prove. But at the end of the
Mm,
day, do we really have anything to prove? I mean, I know you're a faith-filled guy, and I mean, we are a gift. Each and every one of us is
yes.
a gift. You think about how hard it is to actually conceive humans. It's majorly complicated. I'm somebody who went through years of infertility to have the biggest blessing in my world. I have two in heaven, I have one here. I understand the complicated nature, but so many people don't understand how much of a gift they are. And they sit in that insecurity and they're frustrated. And so they just want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to do whatever
Yeah.
it takes to make themselves feel better. But at the end of the day, they're putting so many other people down. They're creating these boundaries and these this conflict. They're
Yeah.
they're 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 putting people off. They're not attracting, they're deflecting, and they're pushing people away, which is the exact opposite of really what they want and what they need.
And they don't, I think I was guilty of that, and you don't even realize you're doing it. I think that for myself, this journey I'm going on. I mean, I've when I took over the dealership, I did sales training and I did leadership development, but I didn't really do personal growth. I don't want to. I was did some videos, did some seminars, but it was more of leadership and how to lead people. It wasn't. It was more external than internal. And I think when I really like in 2017 started working on Daniel, like I had 44 years of BS inside me that had to decompress. This is the reality though. I think somebody needs to hear this. You have more
Yeah.
BS stuck in you than you realize, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
And what I mean by BS is you have the wrong belief systems because you have hurts, you have pains, you have betrayals. And I think for me, one of the biggest lies that I was told, Kathy, that affects your communication and wanting to be heard is, man, I was in love when I was in high school, right? I mean, I loved my high school girlfriend. Like, no one can tell me that I didn't love her. And people say, ah, it's just puppy love. Like, BS. Like, no, like maybe to you, but like we ran away together. We did crazy great
Mhm.
stuff together, but I loved her. But that, because of that breakup, right? That breakup in high school, that experience, that trauma for Daniel Gomez Inspires, I had trust issues
Yeah.
because think about this, Kathy. How many times do we say, I love you? And then, right, you're intimate with a loved one, with your spouse, and you make promises in the dark, right? I think of Pat Benatar, the promises
Yeah.
in the dark that you make. And then 4 years later, they're broken. Like, it
Yeah.
hurts. But no one ever tells you how to deal with them. Get over it. Don't cry. Come on. Men don't cry. Come on, get over it. Just and then
Right.
right away, most people, right? I don't want to say everybody, but many and most, they rebound to another relationship just to kind of they put a band-aid on it. But what we don't realize is we carry that trash, those traumas, those experiences into business. And now I meet Kathy, and Kathy just wants to help me and love me. And Daniel, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, can I trust you? But it affects our communication and how we interact.
Absolutely. Our past dictates our future. Now, saying that, also, it is the priorities and what we hold on to from our past that dictates our future. So if we've been burned and we hold on to that, that's going to impact our trust. But we've also been loved, we've been cherished, we've had amazing relationships. If we hold on and nurture that, that impacts our future. So when you're talking about leadership and the journey you've been on, I'm loving this because leaders often think that it's what I say. I'm going to train you. I'm going to give you the great information. This is what you need to do. Go. I was part of a network marketing company for 10 years. Do it. Go. Right? But who is walking the walk? Who is actually really getting to the details as to why, what motivates us? Is everything
Yeah.
in alignment with our core values?
Yes.
I was in a business. So when my right after my daughter was born is when I branched out into being an entrepreneur, and I did a direct sales jewelry business. That's why you always see sharing the shine, because I love to sparkle and shine. I mean, I'm part raccoon. If it
I would have
sparkles,
I would have never noticed with your sandals you were wearing at
yeah,
in Denver.
my jacket and everything, right? So I'm part raccoon. And part of the reason why that business model worked for me is because I'm an introvert. I still am, right? But I really, really struggled using my voice. I really, really struggled being the one in the room to raise the hand and have a conversation. So, jewelry, I just got to put that out there. I didn't have to tell anybody how to wear jewelry, what was pretty. They got to decide all of that. So, when I was branching out into being an entrepreneur, and I did that for 10 years, I hit a ceiling, and I'm like, I've got this great team, I'm making great income, I'm doing this, but I never got past that six-figure mark. Frustrating. And it wasn't until my husband had this heart to heart. I didn't like it at the time. I was ready to punch him in the face, but we had this heart to heart, and he says, you're doing all of these, your goal is to have this business to be with your family, because family is one of my core values. I know that now. I've always known that, but I wasn't really clear on it. You can know something and not
Yeah.
be clear, right? So he's like, you want to be with your family, right? Our daughter's growing up, you're doing this, but yet you're stepping out 2 to 3 times a night to go party with people, right? You're doing all this stuff. It's taking me away. I was being spending less and less time with my family.
Yeah.
So I never got past the point of what I wanted to, because it wasn't in alignment. Oftentimes as leaders, there we have to be in a situation, we have to be doing the right thing that's in alignment with who we are, or we will struggle.
Okay, so that's a great I truly believe with you. But you know what I'm finding more and more as I coach more and more high level people? They don't even know who they are.
Yes.
They're going up. I think of John Maxwell has, right? You're going up the ladder rung after rung after rung, and then your whole life, whether it's for you 20, 30, 40 years, and then you get up to the ladder and you realize, damn, this ladder's leaning on the wrong building and I'm
Yeah.
not happy. You know how many doctors and lawyers are not happy because they heard it in grade school? You got to wake up, you got to be an engineer, you got to go to school and be a doctor, you got to go to school and be a lawyer. And
Right?
half the people that are engineers, doctors, and lawyers are not happy because that's not who they wanted to be. They're who they wanted. That's who their mom and dad wanted them to be. And it's crucial, right? Because you got to know who you are. For me, like I remember when I was growing up in the automotive industry, and they're like, Daniel. everybody wants to be an F and I. I'm like, I don't want to be an F and I. Like, I'd rather sell cars than be an F and I, but you make more money. Like, that's not the path. But you have to learn the F and I aspect of it.
Mhm.
But when I started growing, I'm like, well, what's the other way? They're like, well, you can be a sales manager, but that's not the normal path. I'm like, well, I'm not normal. Give me a shot. But I mastered being a sales manager, and then once I understood the financial part, like, cause why? I didn't want to be in a box all day. I didn't want to be tied in this box all day. That wasn't for Daniel. Like, if I wanted to go walk and get a Coke, I wanted to go walk and get a Coke. If I wanted to go use the restroom, I'm gonna use. But in F and I, like, you gotta be in this box. And not only that, I don't want to, right? I don't want to dot every I. I don't want to cross every T. How important is it to know? To learn, right? Maybe somebody's listening to this amazing episode with you, Kathy, and they haven't really discovered themselves because of the lies, of the traumas of their younger version of them, and they're not happy.
Mhm.
And they're still dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and they're like, talk to that person right now if you don't mind.
Oh, this is so good. It comes with one thing that you have to do. Just one. It's simple. One. It's start paying attention. Paying attention to you, paying attention to the conversations you're having with yourself, paying attention to the things that how you are feeling in any given situation. This is why I love communication because words mean something different to every single person. We are all different beings. We all have different perceptions. We all have different understandings. We bring different things to the table, which is why being a human is so glorious because it would be boring if we all thought the same. But success and happiness means something different to each and every person. Our parents, our grandparents, it was all about money because they didn't have any. Most of ours, actually. Some of them did, but most of ours didn't have any. So they thought being happy would come when you've got money. So I'm going to push my child to do the best they can and create the job that's going to bring in the most bucks. And
Yeah.
they're going to be happy. But at the end of the day, the only person that is going to bring happiness and success to you is
Yeah.
you.
Mm.
So you have to start paying attention to what does make you happy, what gives me the butterflies and makes my heart race and brings a
Yeah.
smile to my face, what takes my breath away, what brings anxiety and angst, what is the thing that I say I just really don't want to do but you do it anyway, right? what
Yeah.
what what is going on? Our body, we have three brains, right? What's in our noodle, our heart, and our gut. Those are our That's part of our being, leading us down a path. It's time to start paying attention to all of that. When we do that, we show up in alignment. When we do that, we can identify our core values. When we do that, we
Yeah.
can start living in happiness. And at the end of the day, if you are truly happy, how are you not successful?
Yeah.
Are you an aspiring speaker? Do you have a book that you've been wanting to write for months, maybe even years? Or are you an aspiring podcaster? You want to start that podcast like the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show and don't know where to start? Well, at Daniel Gomez Enterprises, we can help you do all three. We can help you become that paid speaker, share your story to the world, write your book, and get your podcast launched and help you produce it. We'd love to help you. Give us a call at 210-663-5954. That's 210-663-5954. We can help you become that paid speaker, write that book, and launch your podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call now.
I love what we're talking about because people don't realize, like, my father was definitely impacted by the Great Depression. And even though it was last century, 1920s, people don't realize there's still residue from that, right? There's still
Mhm.
residue. And even though my dad's passed, it's like I've met so many people that have a sense of guilt when it comes to money. Like, I want to be successful. I want more. Well, no, be grateful, right? And they mean well. I think a lot of
Mhm.
parents mean well. A lot of aunts and uncles mean well. A lot of grandparents mean well if your grandparents are still alive. But they've experienced the Great Depression and they were just happy to have a meal, right? They were
Yeah.
just happy to have food. And I think that I've met so many people out there that they want more, but they're scared to speak about it, right? And you're a communication coach, and I'm a speaker coach, and we help people get their voices out there. But I want to share this with you, ladies and gentlemen. Write this down. What are you scared to talk about and speak about? What are you scared to talk about and speak about? Because maybe that very thing that you're scared to talk about and speak about, that's going to bring the freedom, like Kathy's saying, the freedom from that lie that you've been told your whole life that maybe you're not good enough. Maybe it's bad to be wealthy. Maybe you can't go out there and make a
Mhm.
difference. No, like listen to what Kathy's saying. Are you in alignment with who you are at your core? And maybe some of you are listening to this and you've never taken the time to write down what are my five. I don't. Man, Kathy, what? I've never taken the time to write down my core values. How important is that?
Oh, well, do you want to be frustrated or do you want to be happy? Because
So,
at the end of the day, if you are not in alignment with your core values, you will not the happiness factor will not be achieved at 100% level. You're going to be, well, I'm kind of happy. I wish, I wish I had more of this, and the wishes, right?
yeah,
And once you figure out what matters, and this is words matter, right? What's at your core? What's driving you? What's
yeah,
driving you? I got to tell you, it's not money. It's not money. Money helps us get to what matters most. It is a
mm,
tool for us. So if you're sitting there, I need to have $1 million in my bank, I got to tell you, you're going to struggle. You've got to figure out why. What is in it for you?
yes. What's the
Is it the
purpose?
family time? Is it, yeah, it's bigger.
Yes,
It's bigger than that. So identifying your core, and there's a simple tool to figure it out, what your core values. First of all, you can Google core values and you can get 500 different words that whatever. So core values, easy to figure out the words. But
yeah,
there's a simple, so sit down with a piece of paper. Is it okay if I share this?
yeah. Please, it's good stuff.
It's a simple way. There's lots of tools and systems that you can do. This is one that I can give you in 30 seconds. You take a pad of paper. Everybody got a pen and paper, right?
I got my
On
pen. I got
one
my
side.
paper.
On one side, you put everything in the last 6 months that you have done that has brought you joy, that's happiness, that has fulfilled you. What are the tasks? What are the things that you do? Is it a vacation? Is it a dinner? Is it cooking? Is it, walking the dog? Whatever it is, all the things that you brought you joy. And then on the other side of the paper, what are the things that you've done in the last 6 months that have brought angst, anxiety, frustration? What are those things? And just spend some time really thinking about and getting, guess what? Paying attention to your feelings.
Yeah,
What is bringing these? And so once you have your paper full of these things, you're going to start seeing associations. You're going to start seeing things that pop up. So for me, core value was always been family. Like,
yeah,
hanging out with my family. I love and I hate them, but I love them, right? It brings me joy, right? It brings me so much joy to hang out with them. Um, that was clear to me. The things that on the other side is, I spent 25 years in litigation, but I hate conflict. But when I started thinking about it, it's not the conflict. As I'm navigating these things, it's that disrespectful conversation. People accusing somebody of doing something else. People not owning their situation. It's disrespect. So, guess what? Respect is one of my core values.
yeah,
By doing that, getting clear, because you can sit there and tie things together. Okay, I don't like these things, and come up with 3 to 5 core values. That will then, as long as you are doing the things that align with your core values. This is called boundaries, my friends.
yes,
Doing the things that move you forward, that are in alignment with your core values, life is going to be less stressful. You're going to have less angst and anxiety. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
No, it's 100%. I think people, ladies and gentlemen, you need to take the time and do that exercise. And by tonight, after whether you're listening to this podcast a month from now, a year from now, whenever, you should know by this evening after you listen to this episode, what are your five core values? If you don't take time to write them down, you're missing yourself because what happens is then the deeper to what Kathy's saying is you attract your right avatar
Yeah.
because now you're intentional about who is on your train of business, who is on your train of life. And so many like there's times that I've fired clients because like we were not in alignment. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't mean fire to be rude, but I'm just saying like I think, ma'am, I think yeah, you know what? I think we're good. But then you have those clients like me and my daughter were talking about it this morning. It's just like, but we evolve as people. So the
Yeah.
people that used to be like, ever since I've put more focus on not drinking as much, right? I went on my 6 month sabbatical
Yeah.
of sobriety when God required that of me. It's like people were melting off our community, and it's like, why? Like it hurt because I love some of these people, but God showed me that these people are not in alignment with you anymore. But this is a problem, and somebody needs to hear this, Kathy, is that we're so used to this networking, community, family, whatever your word is for your tribe, whatever it is, that when we're in transition to the new where God's taking us, it's in the middle that we run back to the old. It's like a dog running back to its vomit. Think about that. How gross is that? God, right? We're asking God, take my business to 100,000, take my business to 1 million, but you're going back to the vomit, Daniel. And then it's in
Right?
that transition where you get lonely because you start losing people that are just not meant to be on the next level of life and business with you. And but once you get on this side, I was saying, man, like that was very nice of our customer to do that. This a client of ours brought her like she's starting this new jam. She brought her food, right? Like a meal prep kind of. And I'm like, she goes, well, but my daughter was insistent on paying her. I'm like, why are you insistent on robbing her blessing? Like you poured into her and she's just reciprocating it in a different way, but you're not seeing it. And so many
Yeah.
times we don't see it because we're stuck in what God's trying to save us from. Like, no, God trying to take you to this new level of business, this new level of life, this new level of core values of who you're wanting to be, but you're blind because you're still operating on who you used to be, and we miss it.
One, 100%. And change creates insecurity and not good. But you know what? The best part of life and of business, quite honestly, is on the other side of comfort. It is okay, get used to. I'm an introvert that speaks. Okay. I am so used to being uncomfortable. It is just, yes, my heart races, I shake. But you know what? There's more to it than it's just not about me, right? So as
Yeah,
we evolve, as we grow, what got us here, what got us to six figures, what got us to 500,000 isn't going to get us to the million, to the 10 million. We
yes,
have to constantly evolve. Everything about us has to. And our core values, those can change too, which is why we always need to be paying attention to how do we think? What's our heart saying? What's our gut saying in everything we do? Paying attention to that. And then again, listening. Right? We talked
yeah,
about that when we started, right? People love to talk, but they don't listen.
yeah,
And the third, so there's three levels to communication. People think there's one, what's said and what's heard. No, there's three. Thank you very much. This is the clarity code. This is why this is so important.
tell us,
Come
tell
on,
us, tell
people.
us.
You guys hear this. Please hear this. Is what's said. So what is the person that's saying? Now they have an understanding of everything that they're saying. You know, the sky is blue, right? Okay. Then there's the person that's listening. They are they're understanding, right, that the sky is blue. But guess what? Blue means something different to each and every person. So whether it's a baby blue or like a white powdery blue, or maybe it's that gray blue, whatever it looks like, the third step is asking clarifying questions. Ask the
Mm,
question. So what I hear you saying is this. So when you say blue, do you mean like that powdery blue or the sky blue, or is there a little gray in the blue? What can you point to the blue? Can we get on the same page? So the third level is to get on that same page.
yes.
And people just don't do it. They don't because they think, they assume. People do, I believe this in humans. We do the best we can with the information we have at any given time, right? We do the
So,
best.
I love what you're saying, right? People don't want to sound, the word that comes to mind when we're talking, they don't want to sound dumb,
Right.
right? Because if we say, Kathy, what I hear you saying is, it's like you're questioning, right? It's like, am I hearing the right thing? And you don't want to sound naive or ignorant or dumb. So you don't even ask it. And then you have the wrong interpretation. So you leave anyways with the wrong information, or it wasn't what it was supposed to be, instead of saying, please help me to understand, right? This is a good communication tip, right? Please help me to understand. What I hear you say is XYZ. And I think what you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, write this down. Write this down with your pen. It's okay to get clarification. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make you less or no, like you're wiser because you're making sure your client is good. What I hear you say is this, Kathy, and it's the wise way to approach it.
And as we navigate and grow, right, you're working with your client trying to get them to the next level. It's understanding that with each level there are going to be things that walk away, that leave. There are going to be people, because we have to make room for the new, and we have to understand and
Yes.
ask questions. We need to get clear with who we are and the people around us, because you can't, how are you going to make $1 million if you're hanging around people making $5 an hour?
Yes.
Okay, so you've got to get clear on communication. Their goals are not in alignment with yours.
Well, the
So
language is
gaining that,
talking about communication too, right? The language is totally different. Like one thing
yes,
that I always talk about this because I want to anchor this in people's minds, right? Is going to a free networking event is not going to get you the same result as even paying for a networking event that's $25.
right.
It's just because people that pay attention. And going to, like we just went to an amazing event. If you haven't been to Aspire, I recommend you go to Aspire. But the people here, they were just next level business owner, next level people.
Mhm.
And you can't be scared to say, well, do I really want to pay? Yes, like no, do it. Make that a habit of because the level of thinkers, right? The level of the language and communication that we're talking about, it's like the language is different. The language is
Yeah,
different. Free language is not usually good unless you're listening to the
right.
Daniel Gomez Inspire show with Daniel and Kathy, right? I mean, but the thing is, as we're getting ready to land this ship, what do you feel is one piece of advice that you can leave our audience with that'll really help them take their business and their life to the next level?
Excellent question. Let me pause and ponder the one thing. Um, when getting clear and gaining clarity on the conversations you're having with yourself and how you feel about yourself, there's one thing you can do and start paying attention to this. Get it? I said again, start paying attention. So start paying attention when you look in the mirror first thing in the morning, and you all do
Mm.
it. I know you do. What do you say to yourself? What do you say to yourself? Studies show us 9 times out of 10, we say something negative. And
Yeah.
there is juiciness in what that message is, because it's telling you what you think of yourself.
Yes.
So it's
I
just,
love
again,
that.
something so simple, right? And I call it the mirror exercise, right? What are you paying attention? So here's the thing. Okay. Do I have time for a quick little story?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So when you think about when you're looking in the mirror, and 9 times out of 10, we say something negative. We do. Studies show us, and I can own that. I know that. Not everybody does it, and some people are better at it than others. So here I am. This was about 20 years ago, and Prince Charming and I, my husband and I, so we're newly married, right? We are both working downtown Denver at a law firm, not together, right? But commuting together. So we're getting ready in the morning, and I'm putting on my makeup, and he hops out of the shower, and here he is, toweling himself off, and he's 6'3", so he's a very, very large man, right? I'm 5 foot something, right? So he's off there, and he's just toweling himself off, and he looks in the mirror, and he looks down at his legs. He looks in the mirror, he looks down at his legs, and then he looks over at me and goes, "Woman, you are lucky. These are damn sexy and they're all yours." And I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm lucky. I'm so lucky. Look at those legs, right? So, because he's all legs, they're like tree trunks, they're solid. And he's just like, damn, I'm sexy. And I'm like, you know what? That's how we should look at ourselves. Every time we look in the mirror, we should be telling ourselves, you look awesome. You feel awesome. You did a great job today. Good job. And if nothing else, we need to look at ourselves. Okay. Seriously, look at ourselves and say, damn, I make that look good.
I love it. So I've been doing intermittent fasting. I
Uh-huh.
love it. And I got out of the bathroom the other day. I ate showering, like you're saying. I told Mari, you know what? You know what word comes to mind? She's like, what? I said, spandex, 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 because my love handles are gone and I'm looking good. She's like, you're such a
Yeah.
dork. I'm like, yeah, but how many 51-year-olds, and I don't say this arrogantly, but hey, I'm investing in me. Like,
Yeah.
not, there's 20-year-olds that don't look as good as me in shape, and I'm 51, so I'm like, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna go buy me some spandex. I think of the Eddie Murphy movie, right?
Yes.
When he's like, I think it was big, right? Spandex, spandex, give me all the spandex, because I was never able to wear spandex. What is a scripture or a quote that you rely on in times of adversity?
uh, so the Maya Angelou. Um, It's the I'm gonna mess it up, but it's the one about shining your light. Do not dim your light. By shining your light, you not only own your worth, but you give other people permission to do the same. I
Mm,
live by that as someone who struggled using her voice so much so that I nearly lost my life. Your voice matters. You matter.
I
So
love
by
that.
shining your light, by owning your worth, by using your voice, you actually give other people permission to do the same.
I love it. How do we
And
get a
it's
hold
got
of you?
shine in it. It's got shine in it. So sharing the shine, man. So still a raccoon, squirrel.
how,
Woo!
how, how do we get hold of Kathy?
You can get to my website is www.sharingtheshine.com. So sharing, SHARING, theshine.com. And here's the thing, if anyone is listening and is motivated, is influenced, is wants to connect with me, you can get on my calendar. Yes, I'm giving this out. You can get on my calendar by going to freegiftfromcathy.com.
There
Free
you
gift
go.
from Cathy, CATHY.com. And I would love to pour into you, gift you my time, and let's have a conversation about how you can own your worth, use your voice, and show up and shine.
And we'll have that in the show notes, ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing episode. Thank you for joining us, Kathy. Man, so many nuggets, right? But I think, ladies and gentlemen, I really wanna what I took away from this is A, how are you talking to yourself in the mirror? What's the first thing you say to yourself in the morning? And if it's negative, make sure it's positive. And then the second thing is, right, get clarity. Don't feel like don't be intimidated by it, saying what I understand you're saying is XYZ. Get clarity and get clarification. Baby, Cathy Reilly, the one and only here on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. Thank you, Cathy. And ladies and
My honor.
gentlemen, thank you for joining us, making us one of the top podcasts around the world globally. And if you're stuck in life, you're stuck in business, go get the book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind. It's on Audible, it's on Amazon. And better yet, we want to see you here in San Antonio, November 14th and 15th at the Makings of a Millionaire Mind Boot Camp, right? You need to know the truth about who you are and what you were born here to be. And like Kathy was saying with your voice, if you want to just amplify who you are, stop guessing or stop believing that you're not good enough to be on stage. We have a huge 20-foot LED screen. We just had one of our amazing guests that came and attended $20,000 in 1 month after attending Sticker Shock Speaking Academy. It's not a fable, it's the truth. Real speakers, real stories, real results. I want to see you at Sticker Shock September 19th and 20th here in San Antonio. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us. Share this episode with somebody amazing who needs a word of encouragement today. God bless you, everybody.